Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I got some criticisms that my intro was too loud. So I went ahead and adjusted the volume. Let me know in the comments section if that volume is okay. If not, I can fiddle with it some more. But I am nothing if not a people person. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to do a video directed at Asmongold if he's willing to listen and to take the feedback that I'm about to present. All right? Now, understand, he can do what he wants. I don't even think he'll see this video, but in the off chance that he does, I have hundreds of comments that paint a picture that is very different from the one that you put in your apology video, Asmon. And I want to present them to you, and I hope that you will take them in the way that they're intended. These are a random collection of people on my channel who felt comfortable sharing their honest and unabridged opinion. These are not people from your Reddit or people that fear that they have to toe a certain line or they may get banned. These are just people that share their unadulterated opinions about you, and I really, really do hope that you see this, and I really hope that you take this to heart. Because what I will reiterate, Asmongold, is that you did nothing wrong. And all of the people, all of the backbenchers, all of the people nagging in your ear, those people are not your allies. Those people are not your friends. Those people do not have your best interests at heart. Those people are either looking out for themselves or they're trying to be manipulative. The reality is that you said nothing wrong. And anyone who says different to that, anyone who tries to frame it in a way that makes them look better and makes you feel bad, I would just ask that you question their motivations, because these are authentic viewers. These are not bots. These are people that felt compelled after watching my videos to leave comments and share their opinion. And I hope that you will actually listen to them, because we're going to go over a lot of them. There are hundreds of them, Asmongold. Hundreds of them. So this is a video that I did, which it's over. Asmon, Starforge PC and OTK fire Asmongold. I realize he wasn't quote-unquote fired, but essentially, for all intents and purposes, yeah, they did. They essentially let him go because they didn't stand by him. They didn't defend him. They didn't really do anything that you would expect a company to do if they actually gave a shit. So here we have Asmon gave those people a job after Artesian Builds went under, and this is how they repay his generosity. Now, whether you think that this is correct or not, this is the sentiment that people feel on the internet. Let's look at some of the responses. I'm buying a new PC right after I get a new car. Was strongly considering a mid-range Starforce PC. Absolutely no way I'm doing that without Asmon. I'd rather use Costco. And I side decisively against Israel. Don't even agree with his remarks, original and apology, but I like him as a person. I side decisively against Israel. Build it yourself. So, of course, you got the, just build it yourself. So anyway, there's a conversation going on about the build. You do realize that yeah, okay, all right. So you wanted to step down, right? Then he asked them if it was all right. So that's another point of view. That's another perspective. People adding in their conjecture. It's added a lot of really interesting commentary. No, he's stepping back, which means he is not going to be as prominent in those companies for the time being. He is neither fired nor stepping down. He is still a co-owner and manager, but will not be doing management until he sees fit to fill that role again, as it's ever clear with him still being very prominent on those companies' websites. For now. But here we go. The grammar in this is terrible. It's his own fault, not because of what he said, but what people he surrounded himself, I mentioned, with. Hassan as a friend, very smart. He should have followed his own advice, never apologize for something that no is true, to people who hate you and would destroy you if they could. I was flabbergasted that Asmon apologized. This is the streamer who's constantly saying he won't apologize. I can only see him as a coward now. Now, whether you agree with what this guy said to be true, this is the sentiment that you start to see online. And I understand that Asmon will probably not care. But we're only a couple comments in. There are hundreds of comments with sentiments like this. And the reason why it's important to look at this stuff is because, Asmon, you have far more people that agreed with what you said and think that it's true and acknowledge that America should not be invested in foreign conflicts, and at the same time should also recognize that our culture is superior to other cultures based on the values that we hold to be most dear. Anyone who thinks Asmon was wrong should be forced to live a month in Gaza. Asmon is a coward. Apologizing for having an opinion, then changing your mind because it hit your bottom line, I can understand on the genocide part, but taking back your whole opinion is a slimy move, okay? To be fair, Asmon has said he only cares about the money, and while I personally believe he said nothing wrong, in fact, he said something right, he should not have apologized for it. That was his only mistake. He's not a coward. You have to think of his position at the time. He was part of Starforge and other things as well. If he screws up, he costs other people a job. This wasn't so to save himself. This was a CEO move, and he still got shafted. Fair. I think it's a cowardly move to state your personal opinion and then retract the next day because people are harassing you for having the wrong opinion. Sorry, but the last video of Asmongold killed his career. Saw many conservative YouTubers get canceled for less, and it was always the same. After the apology video, the Twitter mob always go for the throat to kill the guy. That is absolutely true. By the way, there is no forgiveness with these people. They're only going to be monitoring him, and they already have been monitoring him. Oh, Asmon on his Reddit said that he was going to be criticizing DEI. So, do you understand? They thought that this was a win where Asmon was going to start agreeing with them on everything. But the moment that Asmon said that he was going to be doing videos reacting to DEI, which has nothing to do with this, but has to do with their hegemonic cult-like worldview, well then, Asmon's insincere about everything. He's going back to business as usual. So, do you understand? They're looking at this as a collective because these are collectivists. These are communists. These are people that have a one-track mind. When they see you saying, I'm going to criticize DEI, they're taking it as, oh, well, he's not agreeing with me in lockstep now, so his apology is invalid. They're going to come after you. And, Asmon, my door is always open. I got to say, I don't agree with you on everything. In fact, there are many things we disagree with vehemently. I'm a Christian, a proud Christian. I heard what you said about Christian culture, and I heard that, and I thought that was a very foolish thing that you said. I thought, in fact, it was downright retarded. You live in America, a Christian country, one of the greatest countries in the world, and it was made great by a Christian ethic. However, you're welcome on my channel anytime, whether, for as small as my channel is. I do like to think of myself as somebody who will, give people a chance to voice their opinion, to challenge me if you find anything that you disagree with. If there's a comment that you see on my channel that you want to talk about, whatever it is, you're more than welcome, and I'm not going to sandbag you. And I'm also not going to be an absolute retard like Hassan and try to compare a Muslim terrorist to Anne Frank, which oh, all right. Which right-wingers get canceled? They're all active. Quartering right-wingers still online. Yellow Flash still online. Which right-winger am I missing? You got them, all two of them. All right. Why would these two get canceled? You can cancel anyone. Okay. Honestly, this apology made my stomach turn. The only thing that was missing is for him to say, I will educate myself on the subject at the end. So, Asman, are you starting to see a trend here? Now, I understand that maybe one or two comments won't phase you. You'll write them off as dumb, and you're probably, if you're watching this video, you'll probably be clicking the ban button. You're like, damn it, I can't ban these people. But here's the deal. They're giving their heartfelt opinion. They're giving their perspective on what you did. And they agree with what you said because what you said was true, and they disagree with your apology because they think that your apology was bad for a variety of reasons, and it was. Yeah, I think it was a big mistake, says this person. He's on vacation, should never apologize. I love how that clique turned on each other at the slightest thing. Funny to really watch. Now, Asman could be watching this saying, oh, that's not what happened behind the scenes. Do you understand? Perception is reality. This is the perception out there. So whatever you may think about, oh, no, the internals are great, everything was amicable. Do you understand? Starforge PC is going to take an absolute ass pounding. Those cheeks are going to be clapped like it's Daenerys in Game of Thrones and Khal Drogo just came into the tent after a successful war hunt. Do you understand? This is what's going to happen because of that apology, because of them dropping you. It was a bad move. You should not have apologized. That's my personal opinion. But it's also the opinion of a lot of other people. And now the brand that you have built up for years is now toxic because, not because of what you said initially, but because of your apology, your backtracking, because they seem to have abandoned you and betrayed you. And by the way, this effect is going to hit other people in the content creator space. And again, that's not your fault. That's their fault. Now, you may not see it that way, but the fact that Tectone didn't rush out to your defense, Emeru didn't rush out to your defense, Esfand didn't rush out to your... The fact that the people closest to you didn't run out to defend you against these people immediately, vociferously, continuously, relentlessly, making videos, standing behind your back, fighting with you in the trenches. Whatever you may think about the situation, that is going to be the perception out there that you were abandoned by your friends. And it's going to have a negative repercussion. I think that Tectone did a video on this, but I think it's too little too late. If you want to know my honest opinion, I think it's too little too late because of the fact that people were expecting a response as soon as it happened. I lost a lot of respect for Asmongold bending the knee to the mob. This is the perception that people have. So, he has millions of dollars and doesn't live a lavish lifestyle. So he has a huge bank account right now. He is one of the few guys that would not have the need to apologize even if he had to retire right off into the sunset. But he did apologize, and it's pathetic. Rip Emeru. I don't understand why. Why would you... that sort of goes to my point, Asman. Do you see what I'm talking about? Oh, God. Now you see your so-called friends distance themselves from you, Mr. Asmon. Looks like Zach won't be able to buy a toothbrush so he can begin brushing his teeth. He has often mocked apology videos from other YouTubers. His argument was that apologies are meaningless and you should either stand by what you said and not back down or demonstrate that you learned from a mistake by not repeating it. I thought it was a bit harsh at the time, but after mulling it over, I have concluded that those were actually wise words. It's a shame to see him prostrate himself like this. When I was in the military, I used to have a meme background on my workstation. Not all kids get to grow up to be astronauts if they grow up. The images of a Palestinian mother dressed in an SUV. There's one thing that there wasn't one thing about what Asmon said wrong about that culture. Thank you for your service. Agreed. What the hell is an SVIED? Do you have evidence source? Okay. This is somehow worse than an iDubbbz apology. Oh, God. You need really strong convictions to resist the kind of pressure Asmon has likely faced in this situation, especially if you haven't received any positive support. It's unfortunate that he folded in the way he did, but perhaps that's not entirely unexpected. But what did he say wrong? Traitors are disgusting. Oh, this is a nice comment. You're my favorite critic. You call out people for doing the wrong things, but also credit them when they have something of a point. That's very nice. I appreciate that. Emil Animation. Yeah, everyone cries too much. LMAO. Now he's got time to clean his room. Bro, that intro was loud as fuck. It's a flashbang at the start of the video. I've taken your criticism to heart, and I have lowered the volume, and let me know if it's still too loud. As a Muslim and Arab, I was disappointed about what he said, but he apologized, and I think he was serious about it, and that should be it. A man said something wrong, and he apologized for it. If that's not enough, then what the fuck was the point of apologizing for anything? So I disagree with this, but on my channel, everyone's allowed to have an opinion. This guy is sharing a different point of view. His is an opposition. He was disappointed in what Asmon said in the beginning, but Asmon apologized, and this guy accepted his apology. So this is a comment in favor of the people on the other side. Very good. I agree with most of what you say, but Asmon also said a lot of dumb things over the years. Literally don't care. Plus, I don't feel bad for any of these millionaires. Oof. It's just a shame that Asmon said something that makes sense while people like Hassan prance around acting so self-righteous. Yeah, I don't want to get into Hassan. I already did a video on just what a double standard this whole thing has been. And all of these people are brain dead in the end. At least Doc is entertaining. Dr. Disrespect coming in out of nowhere. By the way, I only liked Asmon for his takes on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Interesting. But also, I feel dumb now that I look back and found it so entertaining. People also have to realize that the Middle East is set up to control and manipulate overthrowing the Shah of Iran, Israel and the U.S. ties to Hamas and Zionism, lobbyism, and it goes on. If people just put so this doesn't really have much to do with Asmongold, but zero chances. Who's to say they were dumb? This is a little bit of a nuanced situation, but Asmongold was part of forcing Rich Campbell. Who's Rich Campbell? Their name doesn't sound familiar. When I hear the word Campbell, I think of Campbell Soup, and then I think of Bruce Campbell from actually from Burn Notice. Sam Axe. Out before all the facts of his accusations came to light, Rich is now suing his accuser and has a witness, and he could very well win the lawsuit and be proven innocent. So this is a little bit of karma. OTK is an extremely cancerous and toxic entity, and it's probably better for Asmon to be separated from them anyway. The way that Miz Kid come, okay. Without Asmongold, no one cares about OTK. I don't necessarily think that's true. Well, it's interesting. I know that Emeru has a relatively big fandom, but here's the thing. I don't watch Emeru, so I don't know enough about her to know if people are watching her for the content or people are watching her because she's attractive and she cosplays. I don't know. But yeah, without Asmongold, I don't think there is an OTK, just to be honest. It's amazing to me how dumb companies are nowadays. OTK and Starforge have no brand without Asmon. Does anyone even watch any of the other streamers associated with the company? I know that Tectone has a decently sized audience, but nowhere near Asmongold. Do they even have 5% of the viewership Asmon has? Smart. In my opinion, these companies deserve to fail. My reaction was also that he shouldn't have apologized. This will all blow over in a month. That's how shit like this works. That's not the point. That was never the point. Well, I mean, it is one point. I think Asmon made a good decision to separate himself from ghouls like creators of this video. What did I say back? You're morally and intellectually retarded. Bash. Amen. The Christians, we have needed to be more vocal and stand on business. Amen. I would be Asmongold's effing shield if he only answered my emails and crap. Oh, I mentioned Nurgle in the video. Nurgle spreads plague and disease, but also joy and peace. The other half of him is nature and growth. Bobby G hates religion and the worship of the God Emperor. The Imperium was completely agnostic until the word bearers started sowing seeds of chaos. Believing in religion just fuels chaos in the 40K. The whole intro is way off. Well, bro, religion doesn't fuel chaos. Emotion themselves do. And the joy and happiness of Nurgle is literally a delusion of his followers. Based. Yeah. Actually the Black Templars don't like psychers. So it's actually their faith and devotion in the Emperor that gives them the strength to counter a lot of the other more, mental incapacitating abilities. Hey man, really good breakdown of this. I don't think I could bear to watch it raw. And yeah, Asmon going to church would be a good lifeline of decent, caring people he could rely on. That's something that I mentioned, that Asmongold should find a church nearby. One that isn't, part of this woke demonic Satanism bullshit. One that actually believes in Jesus Christ and preaches his teaching. Because I think Asmon would find a lot of really great people there. The content creator community which has it out for him. What makes this 1,000 times worse is that how he acted just a week ago. Untouchable and always with the right opinion. Banning people left and right in his safe space. He needed this, in my opinion. I bet he learned nothing after all. And he will act the same or worse. Another spoiled first world streamer. Wow. Strong, strong, strong words. Never outshine the master. The man with no principles. Ah, yes. The good old real Christianity has never been tried argument. That's retarded. It's so disingenuous to say he got suspended. Oh, is it? For saying the culture is bad and leave out the part where he said all of the people there are bad. Then doubles down on not caring. Let me just reiterate. Asmongold has no duty to care about a foreign conflict between foreign people that has nothing to do with him and nothing to do with the U.S. at all. He is not obligated to care about that because a bunch of freaks in the U.S. that have nothing going on in their life have chosen that to be their issue. Okay? Are we clear? I love Asmongold. I'm not even mad at him because he was never one pretending to be a good person. All he cares about is money, as he has stated many, many times. I look forward to his return, and I will continue to watch his content. Jesus Christ, I'm not reading that whole thing. What the fuck? That's way too long. Too long, didn't read. Also, if you so this is a continuation. Also, if you feel like America has nothing to do with the conflict, you are very, very mistaken. Actually, learn the topic, dude. Shut up. Just shut up. No, we have nothing to do with that. That is a war that's been going on between peoples for centuries. Asmon never say he was a good Christian. I don't think Asmon said he was a Christian at all. I think he said he was raised Catholic but then rebelled against it. And I think he called himself an atheist. Which, I mean, that's one of the biggest L's of that video. I mean, imagine being an atheist. Yeah. No, we're not going to devolve into that. But I just got to tell you, every time I think of atheist, I'm forever scarred. I think of TJ the Amazing Atheist, the guy that shoved a banana up his ass and posted the video online. That's how I view atheists. A bunch of degenerate apes just basically squalling in their own filth and degeneracy. A Bible-believing church is the best to start with. A Baptist one, KJV only. Other than that, start reading the Word of God. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I tell him more than anything else. He needs time to reflect and get to know God by His Word, just to understand that what Christ accomplished for all of us on the cross, what we can never do on our own, ever do, based and true. Asmon is pretty familiar with Christianity, Catholicism. That's why he dislikes most religions, and by extension, culture is rooted in it. I don't know. That's a leap there, I think, a little bit. Trivializing the genocide. What genocide? Really launched the most targeted attack on a terrorist population, the trench installed in a public space. It's time for Asmongold to retire. He doesn't fit in with any group think norms, and it's going to keep getting him in trouble. So I've been reading this for like the last 28 minutes, and we're still not even done. Right? Like we're coming to the end here. But that's just one video. That's literally one video. There are more comments here. The reason he had to go on the stream with Hassan is because he's the cult of personality behind the people who got him banned. So he had to go and debase himself with a little Chinese struggle session to smooth over relations with the LA Twitch streamer community. I gotta say, that's not wrong. So Hassan has had literal terrorists on the stream. Yeah, but Asmon is the problem. Absolutely bizarre. Asmon just basically said to Hassan, yes, master. Asmon has gone full R. You never go full R. Hobgoblin versus Hypocrite. This is the video which was Asmongold versus Hassan debate in quotations. Asmongold was completely right and should have never apologized. This, facts. Asmon is not an intellectual, but what he said is not incorrect. But he didn't know how to back it up. Let's see. That was the best intro. Thank you. I like the intro as well. I think Asmon worded his response poorly. Asmon could have said he was against American interventionism and our taxes should not be going to a conflict that is half a world away, in addition to expressing sympathy for the Palestinians. Listen, it's perfectly normal to express sympathy for one group or another if you actually feel that way. But if you don't feel that way, if you don't feel any connection to a group, you should not be forced or pressured or bullied or kowtowed into pretending that you care. These people are hyper focusing on this because they hate Israel. These people are not talking about the Uyghur Muslims in China, the concentration camps there, the organ harvesting. They're not talking about any of that. They're only talking about this because they hate Israel. Of course, Cenk Uygur would get his nephew on his show having Hassan's image look good. I agree with Hassan about cops, but yeah, he's a terrible person. Don't agree with Hassan about cops. Just don't. I don't know who Asman is, but I'm sure if he's arguing with Hassan, he's right. Based. I've noticed that people often don't make the effort to understand him, simply judging him based off his appearance and lifestyle. It's hard for some to accept that a basement dweller like him can actually have something meaningful to say due to their own preconceived notions. They don't listen to what he says. Instead, they only hear what they want to hear. It's sad to see how far attention spans have fallen. I remember him saying that nobody genuinely cares about the people who are slaving away and dying to manufacture our electronics. They only appear to be virtuous. If they really cared, they would choose to buy more expensive versions of the electronics that aren't produced using child labor, but they don't, and it's okay because we don't care. Hassan has said similar things before. If he still has a platform, then so should Asman. I didn't know that Cenk is Hassan's uncle. Yep. Alright, YouTube deleted my comment for the 5th time. I forfeit. Sorry, that sucks. It does. Hassan is an actual maniac. Many of Asman's viewers wanted this for a long time. I think Hassan's a weirdo and wrong in many ways. I also believe all the ideas need to be taken into the light. I don't think Asmongold is the person to do that, if I'm being honest. After Saturday comes Sunday, and so in conflict I am with Israel. Asman for a long time has said most people don't know how to generalize, and if you're a bot specific with your own words, if you're not specific with your own words, they'll completely take it out of context in an instant. Can someone explain to me what he said? You call yourself a Christian, but you agree with Asmongold. You have no right to judge anyone, brother, just like Hassan. It's retarded. But no wonder Templars, as in itself, went corrupt. The Templars didn't necessarily go corrupt. They were killed by a corrupt king who didn't want to pay him. So here we have another video. Boy. He did do something wrong. He apologized to people who do not believe in forgiveness while being completely right. If I can speak, I'm not having a stroke, I promise. While being completely in the effing right, by the by. Dude, Sneeko got the same treatment for just words he used. Come on, grammar, people. Grammar. You guys expect no one is safe anymore? Apology does not change what he thinks. I don't care if he stands on his hands and apologizes that way. It doesn't change anything. He's being thrown under the bus by people he's had a long-time relationship with. That would shake anyone. He threw a grenade while riding a gravy train. The people around him riding that gravy train. Okay? In Asman's own words, you should never apologize to these kinds of people. They will take it as a sign of weakness and beat you down harder. Never capitulate to bullies. Okay, so what you guys need to understand is I imagine that Asmongold was getting this from all sides. I imagine he was getting it from his dad, from his co-workers, partners. I imagine that so many people were reaching out and just badgering him and saying, how could you do this? I imagine that he was alone and he found out very quickly that you're not allowed to have a difference of opinion, even if it's right, because of the human filth within the content creator space and the fact that these people are all selfish, vain, narcissistic freaks that don't have an ounce of loyalty or authenticity or integrity. They all abandoned him. All of them for their own opportunity, their own money, just basically salivating at this guy's decline because They don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up like a man, get in the trenches with him whether he asks you to or not, and go to war against these people that are coming after your so-called friend. Lost a ton of respect for Asmongold for apologizing over this. He neither said nor did anything wrong. He did something wrong. He bent the knee. Watching him say that he's sorry really changed how I view him. He's literally describing the tenets of Islam and Sharia law. Seeing him apologize was really cringe and embarrassing. I went and watched the whole clip again after all this drama flared up. He really didn't say anything wrong. People need to get over themselves and stop trying to destroy others who disagree with them. How dare he insult the most violent religion, picking on a super tiny 2 billion person majority. Trump 2024, Asmongold needs to wake up before they take him out. Hassan was born into a rich family. The apology was a huge mistake. Everything else was fine. Look, I think this gives Asmongold an out and to get a chance to relax. It's hard for the average boy to weather huge audiences. He apologized for being an asshole, but that alone is not a sin, not illegal, offensive for sure, but he is free to be one. I, for one, never cared if he was an asshole or not. I always focus on what people are saying and not how. OTK and Starforge firing Asmon is like when Apple fired Steve Jobs. The only reason I know about OTK and Starforge PC is because of him. The only thing he did wrong was making a statement in the first place. He was clearly vocal about not caring about it, but still decided to have an opinion about it, which, look, he can have an opinion about whatever he wants. Hassan gets banned. These aren't perma-bans. Hassan, being a political streamer, knows how to word things in a way to avoid that. Hassan doesn't know how to do that yet. Here's what he did wrong. He bent over for Islam after all that time proclaiming he never apologized. He's a coward and he's lost everything. He should just completely quit. I don't think that Asmongold wished for the genocide of the Palestinians. He only said that if Palestinians commit genocide on themselves, he doesn't care for it. That's how I heard it. He doesn't deserve sympathy. He just needs to clean his room and stick to his opinions. Well, that's what he was doing. He should not have apologized. But oh well. We all love Twitch money, I guess. I pray every night for Palestine's destruction. That's a Pepe Sargon of Akkad thing, I think. Remember when Asmon bent over backwards to defend Hassan Piker? Curious to see if he does the same for Asmon. Worst part is that he said the people he talked crap about reached out to him. Not his closest friends. His friends turned on him. He only should have separated Hamas from civilians. That might actually be innocent, caught in the crossfire. Dude did nothing wrong and lost half his audience with a bullshit apology. He didn't really bend the knee. You should apologize for your own sake if you have yourself. You should apologize for your own sake if you yourself don't like what you said. You should not apologize if it's for the sake of hurting somebody else. True? If you did nothing wrong, and even depending on the severity of the fuck up, a true friend will stand by your side. That's absolutely true. It's pretty insane that calling terrorists is a fireable offense. There are so many more comments. Asmon, by the way, and Frank is, whatever. By the way, there's a whole other comment section here. A whole other one. With people saying largely the same thing. Best intro ever. Thank you. I appreciate it. I heard nothing bad. They are all fake. This includes Asmongold. Comment after comment after comment after comment. Hundreds of them, Asmond. Hundreds. Hundreds of them. I underestimated. This one's got minimum 97. This one's got 115. This one has 119 as well. This one has 53. This one has 151. Hundreds of comments, Asmon. Hundreds of them. And do you know what they're saying? They're saying that you did nothing wrong. You shouldn't have apologized. You shouldn't have backed down. You should have stuck with what you originally said, that you don't apologize to these people. You don't bend the knee to these people. I understand it's difficult, Asmon. I understand the pressure that you were under. But you should not have apologized to them because they are wrong and you were right. At the end of the day, that is the truth of the matter. You can feel any way that you want about it, but the reality is, going through these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, the reality is you did nothing wrong. The people who did things wrong are the people who were threatening you, the people who were leaving malicious comments, the people that were going after you, all of the fake and phony content creators. They were in the wrong, not you. So, I don't know what you would take from this video if you watched it. I don't know if this would have the effect that I was hoping for. But at the end of the day, Asmongold, I hope that you do hear this and understand that there is at least one person making videos out there that isn't part of this cabal of fake weirdos and people that put this vapid virtue signaling above everything else. This video went long, ladies and gentlemen. I always appreciate the support. The support is overwhelming. My channel has exploded. We are, can you believe this? Let me just take a moment to say this. I'm not a number whore, I promise. But I'm still in stunned disbelief. 12,725 subscribers. Are you kidding me? That is insane. That's 12,725 people that have given me a chance and said, I'm going to subscribe to this guy and hear what he has to say. I appreciate that. I really do. And as I always say, don't worry. I'll say something that'll probably offend you one of these days to get you to unsubscribe. But in the meantime, you are welcome on my channel. You can leave whatever type of comment you want. I hope this video finds Asmongold well. I hope he takes it in the manner that it was intended. And by the way, I will reiterate it, Asmon is welcome on my channel anytime to talk about this stuff if he wants to. If he wants to have a private conversation that isn't recorded, that doesn't make its way online, I'm also open for that as well. Because at the end of the day, while I have vehement disagreements with Asmongold on a lot of stuff, I don't like what's happening to him. I don't like what they're doing to him. There's something about me that sends me into like my Winter Soldier moment when I see people's friends stab them in the back. Even if it's just the perception of it, it feels like it's unfairness. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will bid you guys a good day, and I will see you next time.